recently called one of Backstage Magazine's top 10 comics to watch. Give it up for Jenn Palumbo, everybody. Jenn Palumbo.
Hello, kittens. How are you? You're all so cute. Thank you so much for coming tonight. I hope my outfit is acceptable to you, the audience. I have been trying very hard to be fashion conscientious lately. I was on the F train, and a homeless woman was sitting across from me wearing the same exact outfit. It was a very dark moment in the Jenn Palumbo history. And I'm trying hard to get in shape. It's very hard. I'm confidently curvy, and I'm very proud of that. But I'm at the gym earlier, and I'm watching The Simpsons. You know how they have TV on the equipment? And I'm watching The Simpsons, and I'm pedaling, and I'm watching The Simpsons, and I'm watching The Simpsons. And 20 minutes go by, and I realize I'm no longer pedaling. I'm just watching The Simpsons, which is probably why I'm not losing anyway. But I don't want to get too thin. Some people get crazy with it. I have a friend who had a living will made up that should she get into an accident and become a vegetarian, then she'd really lose weight. If she was to get into an accident and become a vegetable, she had a living will made up that she's not to be unplugged until she's a size 2. She'll be dead, but she'll fit into that dress that she always wanted to fit into, so that's very nice. Women don't laugh at that joke usually, because they think it's a good idea. Right? Some of you wrote that down. I'm on to you. My family hates that joke. They find it offensive, making fun of living wills, and, you know. I'm Catholic, actually, and Italian, similar to the gentleman before me. My last name is Palumbo, which is pigeon. Thank you so much. My dad tells people it means warrior eagle. But, you know, he's full of shit. Kind of like a pigeon. But I'm not a strict Catholic. I believe Jesus walked on water. I'm just convinced it was winter at the time. This whole section didn't get that joke. See me afterwards, we'll discuss it. The first time I ever went to confession, I was 7, and, you know, at age 7, what have you done? So I just randomly, you know, went over the 10 Commandments and just picked one, and confessed to committing adultery. Yeah, I thought, you know, it's like when you pretend to be an adult, and I figured, well, I played house. I've committed adultery. Unfortunately, the priest did not have such a sense of humor about this. For my penance, I had to say 3 Hail Marys, 2 Our Fathers, and wear a red letter A on my uniform for the next several years. And this bored me worse than you could possibly imagine. For years, I would watch Laverne and Shirley, just trying to figure out which sin Laverne committed. Again, this section, I'm getting worried. I'm really worried about you. Being Italian and Catholic, and being single, as most comedians are, is very difficult. Especially lately, there's been a lot of weddings, and I have this one Aunt Jeanette who at every wedding is like, when are you going to be next, huh? When am I going to see you in that white dress? When are you going to be next? So I started asking her that at the funerals. Please use that. I'm like, when are you going to be next, old woman? When am I going to see you in that box? And I don't want to be, you know, one of those typical female comedians who say there are no good men out there, because there are good men out there if you lower your standards significantly. This is suddenly like an AA meeting. Yeah, you know, it's just, dating in your early 30s, as I am, it's like being the clearance rack at Marshall's. You know what I mean? Like everything's marked down and irregular. I was at a bar, and I heard this guy chatting some woman up behind me, and I couldn't see him. And I heard him say, well, I think I should tell you up front that one of my eyebrows isn't real. I have a lot of questions about that. I mean, do you mention that before you get the phone number? These are the type of men that are out there. I mean, was it a drawn-on eyebrow? Was it taped on? I have no idea. This has kept me up nights. I had a date with a guy, too, just this past November, and he asked me what I was doing for Thanksgiving, and as it happened, I was going to my friend John's and his boyfriend's for the holiday. He was like, a gay couple for Thanksgiving. What do they make for Thanksgiving dinner? Like what they make is so vastly different than the rest of the country. I'm like, well, we're going to stuff and cook a Boy Scout. Boy Scouts in this section here. Don't get the religious jokes, no Boy Scout jokes. Okay. No good, I'm taking my pull of the audience. Speaking of which, how many of you are married by applause? How many of you are single by applause? The single people are always happier. What does that mean? You ask the married people, are you happy? And they're like, well, you take it one day at a time. You know, easy come, easy go. My parents have been married for 40 years, and I asked my mom what she thought made a successful marriage, and she's like, well, your father doesn't try to run my life, and he doesn't try to run his own life either. And I think there's something to be learned from that. If any of you are single, men, please see me after the show. Why are you laughing? I'm getting desperate. I'm now getting on people while I'm on stage. But I gotta say, I'm getting nervous about bad breakups. If you're really messy breakup stories that kind of haunt you. I read this story in Cosmopolitan. This woman wrote in that her soon-to-be ex-husband one day appeared on her front porch and in front of the entire neighborhood accused her of sleeping around and being pregnant with another man's baby, okay? She became so enraged at this accusation that again, in front of the entire neighborhood, she pulled down her pants, ripped out her tampon, and threw it at him. I was horrified. I could never get my tampon out that quickly. Thank you so much. Good night.